Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Talking Horses. Maggie Wolfendale, Andy Serling. A little early today. Feels like it's
A little
early to
early.
start. I'm a
Yeah.
little tired. Just rolling in.
Dude,
What? You just rolled in, right?
no, I didn't just roll in. I did the blood horse.
Oh,
Thank you very
did.
much.
That's right.
Yeah.
How'd it go?
I told you that like a half an hour
You did.
ago.
That's right. I'm
It was
Mr. Short-term memory
spectacular,
man. Really?
although poor Sarah got, well, she avoided getting stuck in the elevator, though. It held her up a little bit.
The elevators are
They're
they're
a dangerous proposition.
they're a little old in this
Yep.
building, and yeah, this one's
Stairs
not
are the way to
working.
go.
Yeah,
Get
I
those
usually
steps in.
take the escalators to go up
Yeah,
sometimes. It depends
that's-
my level of laziness. Anyway, nice Sunday of racing after a fun day yesterday and some good races. I put the speed figures up. Nothing 94 buyer, I think, for the Peter Pan. I was impressed with that horse. He's going to have to get faster, though, if he's going to beat the big boys.
And he got the setup that I wasn't necessarily anticipating with Vassimo going and attacking Captain Cook. And I mean, Flavian had to be just licking his chops sitting back there with a horse who is talented, but got the right setup yesterday.
I don't think it was a wicked pace, but he definitely,
it was
Vassimo
more
didn't go.
honest. Yeah.
Vassimo didn't go. It would have been harder for him to
Right.
win. I don't disagree. And since I bet McAfee, I'm
little
annoyed.
bitter.
Though I think that, and I know you're not insinuating it either. I like the ride that Irad gave Vassimo. He's supposed to be aggressive and
Yeah.
get position. Just he had no horse, as it turned
Right.
out. But I think he rode him really well. And I know you're
Right,
not
because
suggesting he
that's
didn't.
how he wanted to be ridden in those
Yeah.
earlier races where he had success.
Right, making the other horse have to run a
Yeah.
little bit, getting good position. It just
Yeah.
turned out Vassimo just had no horse in there.
Right.
Anyway, we've got more to talk about. We've got 9 races today. We'll head over to Naira Bets. We are fast and good still, and the turf did have some give yesterday, so I imagine it'll dry out a bit. It was a nice day yesterday and a beautiful day today, but there was a little bit of give in the turf, judging by the times of the 2 turf races. Promo code is match200. We'll match the $200 of your initial deposit. Play through Naira Bets, bet any track, anywhere, anytime. We have a $10,000 hit and split late pick 5 here and at Monmouth. I think it's $5,000 for each one. Check out the details at Naira Bets. Opt in over at nairabets.com as well. I can go right to the show, right? 12:30 to 5:30 today. Opening up with the first in Monmouth as we're covering Monmouth. They opened yesterday. They had a nice day for their opening day as well.
They're on the turf today.
I'm assuming they are, right?
I'm assuming they are too.
Yeah,
It's
nobody
been
said anything in the
nice.
meeting. I mean, we have a crew down there, so people here aren't required to pay as much attention.
Well,
to their
usually
races.
you know, though.
I know I was a little lax this morning. Well, I knew about yesterday because Mark Hennig had tweeted the day before.
Oh, the
That's
good old
how I
Mark
knew.
Hennig track update tweet. Love those.
Listen, Mark
Mark is
Mark
very
has
useful.
his very good. He has a
Yeah.
very good Twitter game.
Yeah.
He's on top of his Twitter
I'm just going to
game.
address the elephant in the room right now.
Okay, what is?
Happy Mother's Day
Oh.
to all the mothers.
Oh my gosh! I even just called my mom like 15 minutes ago. I told her, "Mom, Happy Mother's Day
Thank
to you."
you, sir.
No, thank you. I
Yeah.
appreciate that. I totally spaced. I did call my mom.
Good. I'm glad. I was going to give you grief
Well,
if you hadn't.
my mom's birthday was last week.
Oh,
It was
okay. Uh-huh.
May 1st, so it was just the other day. So I sent her a big thing of flowers, and I said to her, "I can't send you another thing of flowers for Mother's Day because it's so
Is
close."
that the excuse you've always come up with
No,
throughout your
no, I
life?
would send it if it wasn't. Is it always this? I think it's always the second Sunday, right?
It's always the second Sunday.
it's
So,
supposed
yeah,
to-
sometimes
So
you get
I
it
send her
later.
flowers
Yeah.
in like 2 weeks. I
Right.
wait for because
Yeah.
yeah. So I just don't want her to have. I figured that way she could enjoy
Yeah.
flowers for a longer period of time.
Yeah, that's
As you
nice.
know, I never ignore Lucy.
No, I know.
But yes, happy Mother's Day and happy Mother's Day to any of the mothers that are watching. And if you are, why? Anyway, so race number 1, you've got 3 first-time stars. You take a look at the horses that have run. Hot Spun actually ran pretty well last time when he finished 3rd. I don't want to completely ignore him. I don't know where it came from, and it's sort of, obviously it's just the race that came up, but this was a mile. I thought he ran a huge improved race, but I think the general feeling is that at least one of these firsters will probably be better.
Yeah, and last time he was 72 to 1,
Yep.
and you're not unfortunately going to get that here today. And like you alluded to, it feels like he wants a mile. He feels like he ran that well because Christopher Elliott was aggressive
Yeah.
with him stretching out. And it just seems to me that one of these firsters is supposed to be quicker than him early, going the 6 furlongs.
Was Be Real entered at Saratoga and scratched? Was there a story on
Man,
him?
I can't remember.
Aragon had said something to me
Okay.
about this horse
by
at
Santa
Saratoga last
Farms.
summer. That
Yeah,
he was,
maybe.
you usually remember those things. Anyway, it is sort of weird to see a Curlin, a half to Swift Shear, who's got a lot of speed. I hate to default to a heavy favorite first time out, but I got a feeling this one's probably a runner.
Yeah, and the Dam, she won her first start as a 2-year-old, so there's some precocity in the pedigree as well. Now, the works at Palm Beach Downs aren't that quick, but then again, that's not that quick of a surface either. I just thought, given the pedigree, that this guy was supposed to be ready to go first time out.
I thought the 4 was a little interesting for Dave Donk.
It's more turf, though.
It's kind of turfy, and it's turf in the second dam, but starting out at 6 furlongs, maybe giving a race, but I don't know. Thought this horse might be kind of interesting as the other one, so I put that horse second.
Yeah, catches my eye when
they are in the grass in Monmouth. My friend Steve just texted.
There you go. When Dave reaches out to John Velasquez as well, it always feels like he has something live. And then, I mean, Chad's horse in here by McLean's Music. Not much pedigree on the bottom, though.
No, the foals ran the 60s and 70s. Second dam wasn't really any good. A sort of turf and Cynthy dam. We'll see with this one. I would think Be Real is probably the more real one. Yes, Be Real was entered, thanks, Steve, on July 20th at Saratoga. So
Too early in the meet for me to remember.
Believe me, there wasn't a single date I could remember anything like. Well, I mean, it's a little hard to remember first-time starters that are entered.
Yeah,
you know,
unless they made it to the paddock and was like a late
Right.
scratch, then I generally don't remember them.
Race number two. So I'm going to go to the horse that I probably shouldn't go to. We'll take a look at Princess Kyra winning at Monmouth last time out. And she has run well enough going long on the dirt before. I don't know where she is, but honestly, Maggie, the appeal of a new face in this crew was too hard for me to resist after spending what seems like eternity looking at these same horses pretty much running against each other all the time.
I get it. I just didn't love the fact that her. Okay, so her
early dirt races were good, and then she sort of fell apart.
Right, but all 3 of them came around 2 turns. I don't know if that has anything to do with anything for her getting back to a 1-turn mile here. I do like the post position for her. I think that allows her to maybe be a little bit more forward or just keep in touch with the field and be a little bit more comfortable as well as she switches back to the dirt. But I have a little bit of a thing for Daniil. Overall, I thought that maybe she could work out to be the speed in here, stretching
she
out.
can't be in front of Focus Pocus, can she?
I know, but she's stretching out, and she was.
Yeah, I don't think. I think she'll be sitting second.
But at least she's sitting second.
I thought yesterday's track was verging unfair.
Fair.
I didn't say it was totally fair because I don't think we saw
Could
lot
make up a
of
lot
huge
of ground.
moves,
But
except
then
for
you had Hill Road.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
And I mean, I was just talking. Actually, he was texting with Andy Beyer about it. He was asking me about it, and I said I'm so shell shocked from the prior 4 days where it seemed like nobody made up any ground whatsoever that I just wasn't emotionally quite ready to suggest it. But I do think we saw a much fairer track, and hopefully we'll get back to a fairer track. I don't know how or why these things pop up, but it was certainly the case.
I almost feel like it happens too, like because we don't race on it, because it's not worked during the dark days, that, and especially if you get rain on those dark days, it feels like it happens.
That's fine, except it started on Saturday. And then it rained the last 2 races on Sunday, and it was still hugely speedy. And then we had rain over the break and all those things. And so obviously there's stuff going on with the track. We come back and it's super speedy again the next 2 days. So one where it's dry and one while it's wet. It was just bizarre. It was sort of out of nowhere. I've had enough of Focus Pocus, as you have too. She just doesn't have the stamina. What about Brooklyn Dans?
I know she's dropping in here, but
I just don't know if she can run.
I mean, maybe it wakes her up in here, but it's not like she's never run somewhat this cheaply. Those non-2s for 25, it's not that big of a difference. And for me, her numbers as of late just seem too slow.
Right, she's got back numbers good enough, but her recent races are lousy. I agree. Yeah. We both do have her second. Race number 3. Race number 3, I had sort of flirted with the idea, and we both put the horse third, of trying to wire the field with Not My Stepping Stone, who I think is a little bit interesting in this race as the potential speed.
100%. She hasn't shown the propensity to have stamina maybe in her last start, but her 2 prior to that, and maybe the layoff in mind, it always does feel like Bruce Levine's horses kind of benefit from getting a start under their belt. So she's just supposed to go in here and play catch me if you can, and that could happen. I
think it could. We'll take a look at your horse, Passage East.
I really liked her last race. Granted, I don't know what kind of field she was facing. It probably wasn't that good. It was restricted maiden special weight,
No,
but probably on par.
I thought the figure held up reasonably well.
Yeah, and I mean, she just looked loaded the entire way around there. Yes, she got to save ground, but once she got clear down on the inside, she kicked clear here towards the end. She just looks like a big, powerful filly. To be only 3, I just really, kind of liked this replay and liked what she showed me physically when winning this race.
I decided to go against her, but I can understand where you're coming from. I kind of want to see it again. But, you look at her figures. She's been improving pretty much with every start. Maybe she's just a horse that's getting better, and I think that's a reasonable point with her. I went to Broadway Lights, and maybe it's a cop-out in the outside with this horse. But I actually, you pick up Flavien Prat, which is good. She ran against far better horses in her last start. And I just thought maybe she'd get back to her better races. But the problem with her is that she's ex-Brad Cox as the favorite. And you just wonder if these horses are going to hold the form that they had for Brad. Though this was a Brad Cox, not Sandy Goldfarb. But it does seem like a lot of the horses they won with were Sandy Goldfarb horses.
Well, fair that they claim. Now, this is a homebred that the West bred.
Right. They have any? Well, no, they buy horses occasionally.
No, but yeah, it feels
horses,
like of the horses that a lot of times they just run them. They run them in these maiden claimers, and they're happy enough to move them on. I will say that I know it feels like an inexcusable loss 2 back. I thought she was against the racetrack.
She was against the
February
track,
28th.
and the winner like ran huge.
Yeah.
So yes, she was against it. I don't love her. I don't know. I just ended up going with her. I kind of gave a long look to Brooklyn Rhapsody, who we'll take a look at here running second.
Oh, but
I just don't trust that last race.
I don't either. So, she was that voided claim vanned off 2 back where she didn't switch leads, though winning by 10 1/4 lengths. And then you're going to watch here. She is very reluctant to switch leads. I know she continues forward progress here, but it is not pretty.
No, I agree.
It is not pretty.
Yeah.
So she's one that I will gladly stay away from. And kind of like you, going back to the 3rd race, I just wanted a new face in here.
Yeah.
With Passage East.
I think that's perfectly fair. Maybe I have her a little too low in this race. She's certainly not impossible. We'll see what happens in race number 3. Race number 4.
Whoa, Doozy Rama.
I mean,
how can you? You did it. You are brave, my son.
I cannot pick this horse, Maggie. I just cannot pick Runnamore. I'm sorry. I mean, what was her excuse? We'll take a look at. What was her excuse? His, losing last time. Yes, you don't want me to falsely refer to this horse as a female. And now claimed away, and nothing against Adrienne DeVoe, Cherie's sister, but I'm sorry. He claimed the horse from Linda Rice off of just a pathetic, inexcusable loss last time. And that 72 buyer is looking like a complete outlier for her. But a 52 buyer may win anyway. But is she going to run it?
Right. I feel like, that January 28th race is probably more like a 60. You're much better at buyers
I don't
than me,
even know why. It was an aberrant race. It's just a weird race. It's not like horses haven't run back. I'm the horse that got put up. I'm solo 9 lives. That horse actually came back and ran a very similar fig.
Yeah.
So I don't know, but it just seems like an aberrant race for her. I'll put it that way. And you know me, I don't love taking horse, especially at short prices, claimed away from Linda.
No, I understand that completely.
But the pickings are slim.
The pickings are incredibly slim in here. And I thought, actually, you don't like the race. I don't mind it that much. I thought it was a tenuous lead throughout, fought off all challengers just to be run down in the end by a horse who made that wide sweeping late run and literally just missed the head bob. He is what he is. He's not that good, but this is a hungry field.
No, I agree. He's probably going to win this race and pay somewhere between $2.60 and $3. And it's probably a fool's errand to go against, and I don't have a lot to defend Fines Creek on. I will say, he's got the only good figure he has is where he got drowned by Runnamore. So it is a little bit dicey.
Right.
On the other hand, I thought he ran well enough in his race 2 back that maybe some improvement. I didn't want to pick Yo Bro, the horse that ran, besides the name being ridiculous. I don't have any evidence this horse has any pedigree for dirt. And the other horse is Jimmy Ryerson's horse on the outside that we both picked 3rd. But I watched that race. The horse broke a couple lengths slow. I have absolutely no confidence the horse can run at all.
He just looked really slow.
Yeah.
Maybe
he's going to run better in his second start.
Funny.
But man, he was bad.
I would love for Jimmy to at least, and like maiden claimer territory, but see this horse on the turf because he's a Catholic boy.
Plinking is a turf.
Scribbling Sarah, well done.
Oh, okay, yeah,
remember?
yeah, that was a tom
So there's
horse, yeah,
horses.
yeah.
Turf horses. I mean, she's ancient.
Well, those
to be-
talking mans, you know, you don't see talking man. Because I saw Sun
But
King.
how
and
about
they-
Scribbling Sarah? She's produced 2 graded stakes winners, a Grade 1 winner and a graded
Who is
stakes
she?
winner. Scribbling Sarah, Speech,
Oh,
and the horse that Brad has,
What happened?
Alexander Hamilton. No, wait, Hamilton.
no, John Hancock.
Hancock. Yeah,
Alexander Hamilton was the guy who died in the duel.
yeah.
John Hancock's the
one.
guy who was the first one to sign the Declaration
Right.
of Independence.
Right,
Yes.
not the Constitution. Well, he's a
You
Constitution.
ever go see his grave, Alexander Hamilton's grave?
No.
It's in the Trinity Church grave. Do you know the Trinity Church cemetery in downtown? Well, I mean, I spent my life working downtown.
Yeah, no.
Trinity Church is. The
I'm like
church
somebody who's gone and seen Teddy Roosevelt's grave because it's in Oyster Bay.
Yeah, I don't head out there. But
That's
no,
right.
Trinity Church is at the top of Wall Street.
Oh, cool.
And when it was built, it was the tallest building in Manhattan.
Right.
It's obviously not that tall now. And it's right in downtown area. And it has a great
That's really
cemetery
neat.
on
That's
both
neat.
sides. And when I worked on the American Stock Exchange, it's on the other side of it.
Got it.
It's not even there anymore, but it's on the other side. And we used to occasionally we'd just have lunch on a nice day and sit in the cemetery. It's a great spot.
The ghost of
Alexander Hamilton is on the other side.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
in there. Yeah,
Cool.
Pretty well known. All right, race number 5. We'll take a break after 5. So, I think in here it's a question of the one Cognoscente you have on top. Who?
No, I
is-
don't.
No, you don't. I'm sorry. You have second. I have
Mm-hmm.
second. We'll take a look at this horse's first race. And I thought it was mostly between this horse and the horse on the outside. I just preferred English Castle. We'll get to in a minute because of her speed. You're going to try to beat both these horses.
I'm gonna try to be with him. Cognoscente had a ridiculous trip last time, to his own doing. In that this is his start 2 back.
This is his
or
first
sorry,
start.
first start.
First
I'm
start,
sorry,
yes.
first start.
I didn't show his first. He got a ridiculous wide middle move. Yeah, after breaking
Oh,
slowly.
Okay, so he looks like a really big horse as well, in that, he just looked uncomfortable in the gate, so he broke slow last time. Then he rushed up. He was rank with Javier, and those are kind of quick fractions for the distance midway
Though
through
it was a
there.
main race, it went 2:12.
Yes.
5
Yeah,
seconds
I mean,
faster than yesterday's Man of War, though there was given the ground. But I don't know, was that technically turf at that point at Gulfstream,
Yeah,
or is
it's
that like
like
a
hard
fourth,
dirt.
Is it a fourth service?
Yeah, the
Yeah,
hard dirt.
Yeah, they don't really have turf. They have synthetic dirt and something they
Yeah.
call grass.
Now, he doesn't like to get out of the gate, but at the end of the day, this horse has run, I think, the fastest numbers and has run against the best horses that we've seen.
argument for me.
Whereas English Castle, my thing with English
We'll take a
Castle
look at his race 2 back, sorry.
is that he's a horse that has had some stops and starts. And to me, and this is purely just my opinion from seeing him in the paddock, he just always looks heavy. And for me, horses like that, they just take a little while to kind of round into fitness. And I think we kind of saw that. It was his 4th race of the cycle, his third and fourth races of last year when they were paired back to back were his best. So it just feels like he's a horse that needs some racing.
Okay, I just thought he could clear the lead and wire the field. I kept it pretty simple with him, to be honest with you.
Who
else
what
is
are they going to
speed?
do with fresh start?
I guess he's forward. I think this horse is faster. I'm hoping that Ricardo's aggressive with him. What is the before the win situation? I watched this horse last race. I mean, I know broke a little slow. I didn't think he did any running.
Kind of got a little headstrong going into that first turn. Then he got checked slightly at the quarter pole. He just never really had a clear spot. I think he will be faster. He was coming off of a layoff last time. I think he'll be a little bit quicker out of the gate, and so therefore get a bit of a better position. Plus, there's a guy on his back that should assure that happens.
He usually does get him in position. I wished I saw more, but it is just the third start and second off a layoff. So
Right.
certainly the horse could improve. We will take a break, and Maggie and I will be back with the late pick 4.
Horse racing? Check. Weekly promotions? Got 'em. Huge payouts? You bet. With Naira Bets. Download the app today and bet on any track, anywhere, anytime with live HD horse races, betting tips and tutorials, expert picks, and more. You bet with Naira Bets. Join now for a new member bonus at NairaBets.com.
Well, welcome back to Talking Horses. Maggie and Andy, race number 6 furlongs on the turf. And it, first of all, I don't know what happened. I thought I sent, maybe I couldn't find it. I watched the last race of Tazara. I couldn't find it. You can watch these on Naira Bets. And for people that watch them on Naira Bets, you want to figure out what race it is, you go to Racing Post and you can scroll through and look up the races.
Or
and
you could
find
be
out.
like me and play which one is it? Can I guess?
I
which
used
one
to
it
do
is?
that, but Racing Post, you go. Do you use Racing Post at all?
Yeah.
If you just look at the times and you just keep going back, you can figure out
Yeah,
which race
which
it is
race
in the
it is, yeah.
sequence. I know this horse doesn't have a lot of speed. I don't know. I thought this horse was running against some better horses, and if it can run back to the last couple of races, I just thought she might be better than these. I know it's a Chad Brown Euro shipper, but to be honest with you, Maggie, I didn't really like anybody in this race. I'm just tired of the ones I've seen.
I do like Golden Canary in here, but I respect Tazara. And it's not a most common Chad Brown type of move to take a turf sprinter.
No.
But when he does it, he does have success. 3 for 10 with his foreign shipping turf sprinters and with a 239 ROI. So for Chad Brown, that's pretty darn good.
And they were all pretty big layoffs, too, if you look them up. You
Right,
probably
so-
obviously did.
much respect to Tazara. But
What is the Golden Canary story?
okay, so Golden Canary, you kind of have to play the isolation game. If you isolate, her 6.5 to 7 furlong races, they are better. And
Well, one of them is. The first one's right. No, that's fair. That's fair.
they're better. And maybe it's just a Woodbine thing. I don't know, because the Gulfstream races are horrible. But I really like that race 3 back. I really liked it. Now, she could have been beating bums, but I just think getting back to a 1-turn 6 furlong, this filly could be dangerous. And furthermore, you know that she's not going to get necessarily outpaced. She's tactical enough. Ricardo Santana aboard as well. So I thought just if you isolate those races, those numbers, and she's getting to do it, we'll see how she handles Aqueduct. I thought she was a major player.
I like the turn back for her. I had mixed feelings. Obviously, I did. I didn't pick her in the top 4, and I certainly spent a lot of time looking at her. She comes out of a decent enough race. I don't know if there are any killers in this race,
Yeah.
It's weird with Ultimate Ready, right? Ultimate Ready just absolutely sucked last time at Keeneland behind Creed's Gold and the horse who scratched on the outside. But I thought her win the time before that was actually pretty good. So I don't know. And she did not run well last time. And that was not a good effort. And I wonder if maybe she's not any good. But her race 2 back, I thought was good enough to win this race. And what happened last time with her? She was awful.
I mean, could it have been the softer course?
I wondered
don't
that a little
know.
bit. There's a little give, though, in this ground.
Right.
So probably more give that day at Keeneland. Though that was...
they had those torrential downpours, which forced.
Right, but
you also.
This was Thursday. This was a good
I
5
know,
days
but
after,
still,
4 days
and
after
granted,
the rain.
you are dealing with pristine courses, so
Right.
I always, take
Yep,
that into
I do too.
consideration too. But they had monumental rain, and it's springtime, so it's not like it's going to be hot and drying
Right.
them out.
Whereas
quickly.
Gulfstream, by late February, the course was obviously rock hard. Look at the times.
Right.
So maybe she needs a much firmer turf course. That's certainly not impossible here. Did you think that Solo Shot had a chance as the speed here? Or you just think she's not good enough? I know she was on a good rail last time out.
Honestly, the layoff concerns me.
I agree. Where has she been for so long?
Yeah,
What
she
happened to
missed
her after
all
that
of
race?
that.
Yep.
And she wins the Stallion Series day. There's an opportunity for her to come back against New York. Obviously, she's run through those conditions, but still, I don't know.
You know me, I can't resist. Is she? Wait
I
a
love
second.
Lola, but
she's actually has not. She's actually
she's
a
not,
non-winners of
right?
2.
Okay, I had
But it's
to
hard to find non-winners of 2 New York bred turf sprints.
That's
so
true.
I suppose this race came up. You know me, I always want to include Lolita in there. Anybody else we should talk about?
I mean, Weekend Rags, has she gotten better now as a 5-year-old, or is it 5/8 at Gulfstream that she's gotten?
That's what I was wondering. She was
Better
facing some
about.
good horses in her last couple of starts. But I wonder, because you go back to her form in New York in the 6 furlong races, I don't think it's good enough to be competitive here.
That's the
Having
thing.
said that,
So which
her
is
races,
it?
I put him on the 5 furlong Gulfstream races. I also think about that horse of TT's, the horse that you really, we talked about, it came back in the 6 furlong race and had run 2 back in the ladies turf sprint. had run like 5th in there. That New York bred of his that debuted from post 12 late in the Saratoga meet.
Oh, Sinead.
What is it?
Sinead.
Right.
Yeah.
And she came back and she stunk here.
Yeah,
And she
I
looked like she
know.
was way the worst to beat
Right.
in that race on paper, and she didn't run a step.
Fair.
So I thought about that a little. I
Fair.
don't know, it's
That's a
maybe
good
apples
point.
and oranges, but I kind of thought about her a little bit. We'll see what happens. We'll see how good these horses are. It's kind of an odd race because I don't think there's anybody in this race you can solidly say, well, she's way the horse to beat, because we don't know if the Euro's going to run.
No.
We don't know how she's going to
Right.
really run here, and just because Chad's done well with him, he's also had a bunch of horses that haven't run well. We'll see. We'll see if John Stewart's here.
Okay.
He makes those occasional trips, right?
Yeah.
He flies in briefly for
Yeah.
the race. Well, he knows the winner's circle is now, John, so that's a good thing. Sweet.
I mean,
Rebecca?
does he?
There's a horse on Friday, by the way, that's a weird horse that's a half to Sweet Rebecca, and she's a half to another really good horse,
Yeah, I know.
a Sweet Melania.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's making its turf debut. I forget who trains. It's not Tom. For some reason, I was going to say it was Tom, but I don't think it's Tom.
My husband?
Yeah.
I think I'd know about that.
Maggie made fun
Then
of her
again, I don't.
Maggie made fun
honestly.
of her husband on TV. It was one of the highlights of the week for me the other day. Race number 7, a big scratch in this race with Mish coming out, and it takes the speed out of the race. And as we look at Master of Arms, I know you took Agalos the Great, and they are clearly the two horses in this race, the two main horses. But my thing is that Master of Arms now is going to be sitting in a stalking spot. And Agalos Great, I know, is a little closer, but it wasn't that much of a pace last time. But don't you worry that the pace, he's a
I
little
should have
pace
switched him with the.
compromised?
I should have switched him with
It doesn't.
scratches.
It's not a big deal. It doesn't
No,
matter.
no.
but
That's
that's just to me. That's the difference between the two.
100%. And now he gets back on a fast track. He, if anything, in defeat to back, I thought was a pretty darn good effort. So
We'll
I
take a look at
didn't-
Agalos the Great last time. We'll go right
I
to
know
him.
it was a fast race last time, but I didn't love the fact that it didn't feel like he had an excuse. You know what I
No,
mean?
he didn't. I mean, the horse he lost to was a Pletcher Rapoli horse that apparently been working really well in
He was
Florida.
8-1 though.
But he had been working really well in Florida. 'Cause I remember David liked him, and I said to him, "Why do you like this horse?
Yeah.
He looks awful." And he said, "Oh, you can't take him off the PP. He's been working really well in Florida."
Okay.
So I mean, and he ran to it. So like a new horse. Whereas I've always liked Agalos the Great.
That's the thing with me is
This is a
I
Rick
just
Pitino
always
horse,
loved
right?
this horse. Yes.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
No, I agree. He's good.
And I just feel like he's getting faster now, and those were early 3-year-old races. Now he's coming off a little bit of a freshening. We'll see how he reacts to that, but I don't see why that would be a hindrance to him whatsoever. Again, I liked him more when there was a little bit of a guarantee that he'd have a little bit more pace to run out with Mish, with Light the Way.
He doesn't have to be that
But he
slow. There was a
doesn't.
time he wasn't. Maybe
He
Manny can
doesn't.
find. I just wonder if he's better if he can relax a little bit and make his
And make
run.
the one
and you always
run.
worry you take these horses a little out of their game. Are they going to come back to it?
Yeah.
These are the two horses in the race. If somebody else wins, I mean, to be fair, Horse Ride's not impossible in here. I mean,
No, it's not.
I don't know where this improvement's come from, but 2 of his last 3 races have been very good. And
His
it
race
never
3
hurts to get
back in the
Flavio.
25 was
He ran super.
insane.
Yep. Yeah, he ran
So,
super. I thought he
yeah.
ran fine last time. What's up, bro? Got loose in that race. I thought he ran fine.
He
so,
ran really well.
Yeah. No, he's not impossible. I thought the other 2 were a little bit better, but he's
Overall form is a bit
Yeah.
better, but could he be the dangerous one that's good now? Yeah.
absolutely right.
Yeah.
He's not impossible. It's not like they're such killers. So race number 8. I have much love for Be of Courage, and I'm glad that he's back because he disappeared last summer, but I'm worried about that a little bit.
Same.
He is a horse that's been disqualified twice in his last 4 starts. Now, I ultimately decided, this is Gem Mint 10 in the lead, that he can wire the field, and that's why I put him on top. 'Cause
Yeah, I get it.
He says, I use this phrase too often, but he is a Jekyll and Hyde horse.
He is.
He's very good when he's in front. He's very bad when he's not. Go to the front in here. But I will say one thing. Be of Courage still ran him down in this race, and Be of Courage had a ridiculous trip in this race.
Yeah. Oh, I don't trust Gem Mint 10. I totally get where you're going with him. I just wanted somebody consistent. The consistent horse for me is number 9, Born Dancer in here, who I think it was funny
Well,
when he
got
started.
good last year.
Well, right, because early on in his career, I mean, Michelle just couldn't get him going. Like he missed, time and races and and then he had this comprehensive campaign as a 5-year-old, and it was good, and it got good towards the end. And even when he, was coming back early in May, those efforts weren't that bad either, finishing just behind Be of Courage. So I wanted the consistent type. Look, I don't love the outside post for him, but, he's tactical enough. He's going to go forward from the start with Kendrick aboard,
I
and he's
agree.
going to get ideally or projects to get a nice trip.
I agree. There's no reason he can't be sitting second to Gem Min 10 in this race. And I agree. I mean, the one side to say, well, he got really good at the end of the year, and will he have that off the layoff? And Michelle, you look at it, looked up 4 to 8 month turf route. She's 4 for 26. She didn't have a big price in there, so she has a decent ROI.
Yeah.
Listen, I've got him third. I see everything that you see about this horse. What about slap in the face on the rail? We'll take a look at his last race. It just seems to
I've
me
never
like he
liked
took
him.
so long to get to the non-winners of one condition. Got an absolutely
love
perfect
Tony,
trip in this
but-
race, and now he's got to beat better horses.
Look, he's run 10 times, 5 of which finishing second. Could he run second? Yeah. But he just doesn't love to win. It took him all the way till the very end of turf season when many of the horses he had to beat had already run through this condition, and he got the job done. To me, he's just
I agree
not
with
my
that.
type.
I agree. And it's the jump from non-winners of one to non-winners of two in general is big, but in the New York breds, it's huge. Because you get a lot of horses that are pretty battle hardened.
Yep.
Keith McCallum just texted me, and he said, a friend of his texted him, we're going back a race to Tazara, or two
Oh, yeah.
races. Tazara finished second in the last race at Chantilly, defeating a horse named Megara.
Yes.
And Megara won the first race at Longchamp today, 5 furlongs and 55 flat, winning a Group 2.
Wow.
So there you go.
Very good update.
So
Thank
based
you,
on that,
Keith.
she can't possibly lose. Thank you, Keith, for that. So if she loses, Keith, a
She
lot of
will
people are going to
be-
be mad at you.
she'll be
And I'm
2
going
to
to give him your
5.
phone number. If she wins, I'm giving you no credit whatsoever. That's the way it works in the NBA.
Yes.
Race number 9 is a whole lot of guessing. So what did I do? I took mutually exclusive because, first of all, I love the name. It's a great name. Second of all, they liked this horse first time. Chad liked this horse, I believe. Maybe I'm mistaken. I think he liked this horse first time. And she stunk. It's not exactly a huge turf pedigree to speak of. I'm taking a shot, though, that she is okay and can win, but I'm probably making a bad choice.
This horse fires out is my strongest opinion on the day.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Excellent. I got the horse fourth.
I
Really?
first time out, I wrote
Right.
massive
Maggie special.
Oh, no.
Oh,
I wrote massive turf hoof. There's pedigree there. I much
How-
prefer the Flameaways on turf. The full sibling is a graded stakes winner on the turf. Dreamfire. Yeah.
And it's serendipity that this horse who you've been waiting for should show up on the day you're on the show. It
I'm
is.
not on for this race. Oh, you
No,
mean
I
this
mean
show?
this show.
Yeah.
This is the show that matters, Maggie. The other shows. Just get your priorities in order here. Okay, thank you. That's great. I will definitely move the horse up, and I agree with the pedigree suggestion in here. You know, we'll look at the number 9, My Anticipation, and this is the race 2 back. I think this is the race 2 back in a second. I don't know what to do with this horse. I mean, you're barely going to see the horse until the very late stages making that big run. And then last time out, broke a
Doesn't
little
she have a
slow,
shadow roll?
but she was terrible in there. What happened last time? She just
I-
not want to go through
well-
on the inside?
Those were fast paces, and to me, she just gave the appearance of looking like she got run off her feet. And yes, she was able to cut the corner in
Right.
that last
I
race.
wonder, though, with drawing an outside post, if it's better for
Better
her,
for her.
oddly, that she can get that clean run on
And
the
I
outside.
just feel like 6 furlongs is going to be better for her as well. I mean, look, the horse that ran second came back and won with an 81. The 4th place finisher came back and won with a 90 or 79. So I think she comes out of those
decent
decent
enough races. I agree.
races down there, and I just felt like 6 was going to be much preferable for her.
What
Much
about
more
More Than Grace?
More Than
who's been
Grace?
annoying,
I
but
don't know. She's gone downhill.
There's
from
no
the
turf
start.
on the dam side, but there's More Than Ready. So you get More Than Ready. I don't know what to do with her.
There wasn't
it's a
enough
weird
pedigree for
horse.
me there to say that she's going to suddenly be revived. And who knows? Yes, could she have speed? Maybe, but with these turf sprints, usually the dirt sprint speed doesn't translate as well.
I agree. I just don't know who the real speed is in this race, which means I think it's probably going to be her. I guess Kahira's Song probably go with Silvera from the inside. She's got enough speed that she can be forward. What about some of the other first timers? What about Sugar Run? You've got her 4th. I know David picked this horse.
I love Twirling Candies on the turf. The dam, she was good turf sprinting. Granted, the sibling 0 for 4 on the turf, but has a solid kind of work tab coming in here for Mark Hennig. Kind of gives the feeling that she could have speed in here as well. Reaching out to Kendrick with some decent works. I didn't love her. She's just the one
got
that I
enough
thought
pedigree, though.
had enough pedigree. And 2, Twirling Candies, they win 16% of the time with his older debuting
I loved
horses.
Roland Candy. He was
And
one of
he's
my, I was
such a
always sorry
great
he never ran
sire.
in New York. I always
Yeah.
really liked him.
I
And I
know.
thought he would have been perfect for races like the Met Mile or Cigar Mile. I think they were once talking about bringing the
I feel
Met
like
Mile,
they
and
were,
they didn't.
right? Yeah.
And I just thought like he was one of these horses. It was a little bit like Congaree at times, who did come here and went to Cigar Miles, though not the Met Mile, but because a lot of the bigger races out there are 1.25 mile races.
Yeah.
And they're just, it's a little bit farther than their best races.
Right.
And they're such good horses, they would still run really well in those
Yeah.
races. But
Yeah.
I always liked Roland Candy a lot. All right. It was a good time, as it always is. Head over to Naira Bets. Use the promo code MATCH200. We'll match with $200 of your initial deposit.
Guess what? I'm going to Preakness this year.
You are?
Yes,
Are
first
you-
time
is it
since
like
I
a-
have children.
Really? Is it
9
is it a
years.
meeting of former Miss Preaknesses?
Yeah, it's a convention.
Convention? Is it really? Is it? You're playing along with that.
Yes, of course I'm
Well,
playing
you've
along.
been around me way too long. That's great. Is this
Yeah.
when's the last time you were at the Preakness?
When I was pregnant with Grace,
Jeez,
so
it's
2016.
amazing.
Yeah,
Excellent. You're just
yeah.
going down for fun, or
Tom's running a horse in the undercard, and yeah,
you want to be there to make fun of him?
yeah,
That's good.
exactly. That's
Bring
how
the
I roll.
kids?
No,
No?
it's a rendezvous.
Really?
Trip.
Nice.
Oh, and then I'm gonna need your tips because I'm taking the train back on Sunday morning to come work.
Oh, the train from Penn Station?
Amtrak, yeah. So then I'll need to get from
What
Penn
time are you
Station
supposed to
to
get
here.
into Penn Station? Or I'll just meet you?
9:45.
Okay, well, I got to be here earlier well, you got to be here for the show too.
Yeah, am I gonna make it?
We'll talk. Call me from your
Okay.
train,
All right.
even though I won't be up. I get up around 8:15 to 8:30.
I'll be in like New Jersey at that point, I think.
It's very easy. From
Okay.
where you are,
Yeah.
from Penn Station, I would say, yeah. I don't know.
Is it the A train?
Yeah, you get it right
Okay.
there. It's right there. It's
'Kay.
right
All right.
there.
All
So
right.
it's you
I
can't
can do
miss
this.
it. It's yes. You just have to make sure you're on the Rockaway train.
You know I'm the country
I'll
bumpkin
even tell
that
you what time
gets
the
nervous
trains
about the
leave.
public
Well,
transportation.
Are you here next week at all? Are you here
Yeah.
Thursday, Friday? All right,
Yeah.
we'll go through it Thursday,
Okay.
Friday. We'll figure it out.
I need my
All right.
lessons.
What else do we have? Yes, everybody comes to me for train advice.
We do.
And somehow
Grand
everybody gets it right
Motion.
except for Kinchin, who still randomly seems to get
He
on the wrong
lives
train half
there.
the time. He lives in a 3-minute walk from Columbus Circle. $10,000 hit and split. Opt in over at Naira Bets for that. Late pick 5 here and at Monmouth as well. And the show is on from 12:30 to 5:30 on FS2. We got to go. Chris Griffin, he's up next. A reprise, the Scratch and Changes. Have a great day.
Horse racing? Check. Weekly promotions? Got 'em. Huge payouts? You bet. With Naira Bets. Download the app today and bet on any track, anywhere, anytime with live HD horse races, betting tips and tutorials, expert picks, and more. You bet with Naira Bets. Join now for a new member bonus at NairaBets.com.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Belmont at the Big A. At this time, we ask that you please rise, remove your caps as we honor America with the playing of the national anthem. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the New York Racing Association and Live Racing Belmont at the Big A. A Sunday afternoon of great racing action ahead. 9 races on today's card, and happy Mother's Day. The main track is fast, turf is good. Here are today's scratches and changes on this Sunday, Belmont at the Big A. Race 1 started the early pick 5. The 4 is a Ridgeling. Race 2 started the early pick 4. No changes. Today's third race started the middle pick 4. It's clear. No changes. Race 4 started the pick 6. The 3 will run in a hood. Today's fifth race started the late pick 5. Scratch the 5. Dr. High. Scratch the 6, My Gorgeous. Scratch the 9, Chris's Song. Scratch the 10, Sanzio. Race 6 started late pick 4. Scratch the 8, Simply Stated. Scratch the 9, Golden Degree. Race 7, scratch the 2, Mish. Scratch the 5, Light the Way. Race 8, scratch the 1, Dr. Kraft. Scratch the 1A, Neural Network. Scratch the 10, Elysian Meadows. Scratch the 11, Mighty Atlas. Race 9, scratch the 1, Leilani Lou. Scratch the 10, Here's Your Trouble. 9 races on today's card. Main track is fast. Turf is good. Be back in a bit. Bring you updated scratches and changes 56 minutes away from race number 1. Track is fast. Turf is good. It's all coming up on this Sunday. 9 races. Belmont at the Big A. Good luck.
Horse racing? Check. Weekly promotions? Got 'em. Huge payouts? You bet. With Naira Bets. Download the app today and bet on any track, anywhere, anytime with live HD horse races, betting tips and tutorials, expert picks, and more. You bet with Naira Bets. Join now for a new member bonus at NairaBets.com.